Consider for a moment the way you typically approach your desires. You see something you want, be it wealth, love, success, or health, and you begin to strive for it. You work, you plan, you hope, always with the underlying belief that once you have it, then you'll feel the way you want to feel. But I say unto you, this approach is backwards. And it is the very reason why so many find themselves stuck in cycles of wanting and lacking. The secret, my dear listeners, is to feel it before you have it. This is not pretense or make-believe. It is the very essence of creation, the fundamental principle upon which all manifestation is based. For you see, your feelings are not the result of your reality. Your feelings are the cause of your reality. Let us delve deeper into this profound truth. Your outer world, everything you experience in your physical reality, is nothing more than a reflection of your inner world. It is a mirror, faithfully reflecting back to you the sum total of your beliefs, assumptions, and most importantly, your feelings. When you understand this, truly understand it, you realize that waiting to feel a certain way until you have what you desire is akin to waiting for your reflection in the mirror to smile before you do. It is backwards, it is impossible, and it keeps you trapped in a state of perpetual wanting. But how, you may ask, can one feel something before it is physically present? The answer lies in the power of your wonderful human imagination. For your imagination is not a mere fantasy maker. It is the very workshop in which reality is forged. When you imagine yourself in the state of your wish fulfilled, when you assume the feeling of your desire realized, you are not engaging in idle daydreaming. You are engaging in the most powerful creative act known to man. You are impressing upon your subconscious mind a new concept of self, a new assumption about your reality. Let us take a moment to truly understand this. Your subconscious mind does not distinguish between what you vividly imagine and what you actually experience in the outer world. It accepts as true whatever you feel to be true. And once it accepts an idea as true, it proceeds to bring it into manifestation in your physical reality. So when you feel the reality of your desire before it is physically present, you are not being delusional or engaging in wishful thinking. You are actively creating your reality from within. You are aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe, allowing it to work through you and for you. This, my dear listeners, is the essence of feeling it before you have it. It is about recognizing that what you seek is already within you, waiting to be expressed. It is about understanding that the outer world is nothing more than a reflection of your inner assumptions and feelings. Consider the biblical phrase, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. This is not about blind belief in something external. It is about the faith that comes from feeling the reality of your desire in the realm of imagination, knowing that this feeling is the very substance and evidence of its physical manifestation. But let me be clear, this is not about sitting idly and waiting for things to magically appear in your life. It is about a fundamental shift in consciousness. When you truly feel the reality of your desire, your actions naturally align with that feeling. You begin to think, speak, and act from the perspective of already being or having what you desire. Let us explore this further with an example. Imagine a man who desires financial abundance. In the old paradigm, he might work tirelessly, constantly worrying about money, always feeling the lack of it. But in doing so, he is affirming his current state of lack. He is living from the assumption that he does not have abundance. And so the universe faithfully reflects this assumption back to him. Now, imagine this same man shifting his approach. Instead of focusing on the absence of money, he assumes the feeling of financial abundance. He feels the security, the freedom, the joy that comes with having more than enough. He lives each day from this feeling, carrying himself with the confidence and ease of someone who is truly abundant. In this state, he no longer desperately chases after money. He may still work, but he does so from a place of inspired action rather than desperate need. And in doing so, he becomes magnetic to financial opportunities. He allows abundance to flow into his life, drawn by the power of his assumption and the clarity of his vibration. This principle applies to every area of your life, my friends. Whether you seek love, health, success, or any other desire, the key is to feel it before you have it. For what you are seeking is also seeking you, but it can only find you when you align yourself with its frequency. Now I can hear some of you thinking, but Neville, isn't this just positive thinking? Isn't this denial of my current reality? And to this I say emphatically no. This is not about denying your current circumstances. It is about understanding the true nature of reality. Your current circumstances are nothing more than the fruit of your past assumptions and feelings. They have no power to determine your future, unless you give them that power by continuing to focus on them and feel their reality. When you shift your focus, when you assume a new feeling state, you are not denying reality. You are exercising your divine right to choose which reality you wish to experience. Remember, the outer world is dead. It has no life of its own. It is your consciousness that gives life to your experiences. When you wait to feel good until your circumstances change, you are putting your power in the hands of shadows, reflections of past states of consciousness. But when you change your feeling state, when you assume a new inner reality, you cause the outer world to rearrange itself to match your new inner state. This, my dear friends, is the true secret to feeling it before you have it. It is about aligning yourself with the law of assumption, recognizing that what you seek is seeking you, and allowing it to flow into your experience through the power of your imagination and feeling. But let me warn you, this is not always an easy path. The old habits of reacting to external circumstances, of letting your feelings be dictated by what you see, are deeply ingrained in our collective consciousness. As you embark on this new way of being, you may find resistance arising within you. Doubts may creep in, old patterns may try to reassert themselves. When this happens, do not fight against these thoughts and feelings. Simply observe them, acknowledge them, and then gently return to your new assumed feeling state. For the war is not won by battling against what you don't want, but by persistently embodying the feeling of what you do want. Think of it like tuning a radio. When you're trying to listen to a particular station, you don't focus on eliminating all the other stations. You simply tune into the frequency you desire. In the same way, you don't need to fight against your current reality or forcefully push away unwanted circumstances. You simply need to tune yourself to the frequency of your desire, to align yourself with the feeling of your wish fulfilled. This tuning is done through your imagination and your ability to generate feeling states. Your imagination is the dial that allows you to tune into different frequencies of experience. As you use your imagination to assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you are tuning yourself to that frequency, allowing the corresponding experiences to flow into your life. But remember, my friends, this is not a one-time event. It is a way of life. Just as you wouldn't expect to stay in shape by exercising once, you cannot expect to manifest your desires by feeling them once. This is about persistently assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled, about living from that feeling state day in and day out until it becomes your new normal. As you do this, you will find that the very concept of waiting to feel begins to fade from your consciousness. For how can you wait to feel what you already feel? How can you anticipate what you are already experiencing in your imagination? This shift in perception is the key to feeling it before you have it, to experiencing your desires with immediacy and power. Now, some of you may be wondering, but Neville, how can I feel something I've never experienced? How can I generate a feeling for a reality I've never known? And to this I say, your imagination is more powerful than any physical experience. Consider for a moment, have you ever read a book that moved you to tears? Or watched a film that filled you with joy or excitement? In those moments, were you responding to anything in your physical reality? No, you were responding to the images and scenarios created in your imagination. Your feelings were real, even though the events were imaginary. This is the power you must harness to feel it before you have it. You must use your imagination to create scenarios that evoke the feelings associated with your desire. If you want wealth, imagine paying bills with ease. Imagine the feeling of financial security. Imagine the joy of generosity that comes with abundance. Feel these feelings as vividly and as consistently as you can. If you seek love, imagine the warmth of a loving embrace, the joy of shared laughter, the deep sense of connection and understanding. Feel these feelings as if they are your present reality. The key is to make these imaginal acts as vivid and as real to you as possible. Engage all your senses. If you're imagining wealth, feel the crisp bills in your hands, smell the leather of your new car, hear the sound of waves lapping at the shore of your beach house. Make it real in your mind and feelings will naturally follow. But here's a crucial point, my friends. The goal is not to imagine specific events or outcomes. The goal is to capture the essence of the feeling state associated with your desire. For it is this feeling state that is the true attractor of your desire. Let me illustrate this with an example. Suppose you desire promotion at work. You might be tempted to imagine a specific scenario. Your boss calling you into the office and offering you a particular position with a specific salary. While this can be a useful starting point, it is limiting. Instead, capture the feeling essence of the promotion. What does it feel like to be recognized for your skills? How does it feel to have increased responsibility and respect? What is the feeling of financial increase and career advancement? These feeling states are far more powerful and flexible than any specific scenario. By focusing on the feeling essence rather than specific outcomes, you allow the universe to bring your desire to you in ways that might far exceed your specific imaginings. You open yourself to possibilities beyond what your current mindset can conceive. This is the true art of feeling it before you have it. It's not about forcing yourself to believe something that your senses deny. It's about tapping into the reality of your desire in the only place it truly exists, in your consciousness. As you practice this, you may find that your outer world begins to shift in subtle ways. Perhaps people respond to you differently, or opportunities you never noticed before suddenly seem to appear, or solutions to problems come to you effortlessly. These are all signs that your inner shift is creating ripples in your outer reality. Don't discount these small changes. Celebrate them. See them as confirmation that the law is working, that your assumption is taking root. But don't become attached to them or anxiously look for them. Simply acknowledge them with gratitude and continue to live from your assumed feeling state. As you persist in this practice, larger changes will begin to manifest. The full realization of your desire will unfold in ways that might surprise and delight you. But remember, the outer manifestation is not the goal. The goal is the feeling state from which your desire naturally flows. This is a crucial point, my friends. When you're truly feeling it before you have it, when you're fully embodying the feeling state of your wish fulfilled, you no longer need the outer manifestation to feel complete. You're already whole, already fulfilled in your imagination. And paradoxically, it's in this state of completeness that your desires flow most easily into your experience. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, what about action? Though we need to do something to bring our desires into manifestation. And to this I say yes, actually it's part of the process. But it's inspired action, not frantic doing. When you're living from the feeling of your wish fulfilled, ideas and opportunities will naturally present themselves to you. You'll feel inspired to take certain actions, to move in certain directions. These actions won't feel like effort or struggle. They'll feel natural, joyful, almost effortless. This is the difference between forcing and allowing. When you're trying to make something happen, actions feel forced, stressful, born out of fear and lack. When you're feeling it before you have it, actions flow naturally from your assumed state, guided by an inner wisdom that knows exactly how to bring your desires into manifestation. Consider the example of a flower. A flower doesn't strain to grow. It doesn't force itself to bloom. It simply grows and blooms naturally in accordance with its inner nature. You, my dear listeners, are no different. When you align yourself with the feeling of your desire fulfilled, you allow your own blossoming to occur naturally and effortlessly. But let me be clear, this feeling it before you have it is not passive. It requires an active use of your imagination, a deliberate assumption of the feeling state of your wish fulfilled. It requires faith, not blind faith in an external power, but faith in the creative power of your own consciousness. This faith is not about believing that your desire will manifest someday in the future. It's about believing that your desire is already yours in the realm of imagination, and that the outer world must inevitably conform to this inner reality. As you cultivate this faith, as you persist in your assumed feeling state, you'll begin to see evidence of your desire manifesting in your outer world. These signs may start small. An overheard conversation that confirms your assumption, an unexpected opportunity that aligns with desire, a shift in how others respond to you. Do not discount these signs, no matter how small they may seem, for they are confirmation that your inner world is indeed shaping your outer reality. They are breadcrumbs leading you to the full manifestation of your desire. As we near the conclusion of our discussion, I want to address a common concern that arises when people first encounter this teaching. Many worry that if they feel their desire fulfilled before it manifests, they'll become complacent or lose their motivation to take action in the world. But I assure you, my friends, the opposite is true. When you're feeling the reality of desire, when you're aligned with the feeling state of your wish fulfilled, you become more motivated, more inspired than ever before. But it's a different kind of motivation. It's not the frantic, anxious energy of someone desperately chasing a goal. It's the calm, confident energy of someone who knows their desire is already theirs. In this state, you take inspired action not because you feel you have to, but because you want to. You move through life with a sense of joy and anticipation, eager to see how your inner state will manifest in your outer world. This is the true gift of feeling it before you have it. It's not just about manifesting specific desires, although that will happen. It's about aligning yourself with the flow of life, with the creative power of the universe. It's about recognizing your own divine nature and allowing it to express itself fully through you. In this state of alignment of feeling your desires as present realities, you become a channel for the infinite possibilities of the universe. Ideas flow to you effortlessly. Opportunities present themselves naturally. The right people and circumstances appear in your life at the perfect time. This is the magic of living from the state of your wish fulfilled. But remember, this magic is not something external to you. It's not some cosmic force that you need to appease or manipulate. It is the natural expression of your own consciousness when it's aligned with truth. You are the magic, you are the miracle. You are the creative power you've been seeking. As we draw our time together to a close, I want to leave you with a final thought. The principle we've explored tonight, the secret to feeling it before you have it, is not just a manifestation technique. It's a way of life. It's about recognizing your true nature as a divine creative being. It's about aligning yourself with the fundamental laws of the universe. When you live from this understanding, everything changes. The world becomes a friendly place filled with infinite possibilities. You no longer see yourself as a small, separate being struggling against external forces. Instead, you recognize yourself as the creator of your reality, the author of your life story. In this state, there's no need to wait for anything. For you understand that everything you desire is already within you, waiting to be expressed. Your job is simply to assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, to live from that feeling state, and to allow the universe to take care of the details. So, my dear friends, as you leave here tonight, I urge you to start feeling it now. Don't wait for your circumstances to change to feel the way you want to feel. Choose your feeling state now. Use your mighty imagination to assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Feel the naturalness of being or having what you desire. Live from this feeling state. Persist in this assumption and watch as the universe rearranges itself to match your inner state. Remember, you are not a helpless being pushed around by external circumstances. You are the operant power in your world. Your consciousness, your feeling states are the one and only reality. All things are possible to him who believes, for belief fueled by feeling shapes reality. Go forth from here with this knowledge, apply it in your life, test it, prove it to yourself, for in doing so, you'll discover the truth of who you really are. You'll tap into the limitless power that has always been within you. And you'll experience the joy, the freedom, the fulfillment that comes from living in alignment with the laws of creation. The world is waiting for you, my friends, not as something to strive towards, but as something to be experienced now, in the realm of feeling and imagination. It's waiting for you to recognize your true power, to step into your divine nature, to become the person you're meant to be. So feel it now. Feel the reality of your desires as vividly as you can. Let these feelings permeate every aspect of your being. For in truth, everything you desire is already yours in the realm of imagination. All you need to do is open your heart, embrace these feelings, and allow them to flow into your experience. Remember, the kingdom of heaven is within you. The power to shape your reality is within you. You are the miracle you've been waiting for. Embrace this truth, live from it, and watch as your world transforms before your eyes. As you practice feeling it before you have it, you may encounter moments of doubt or disbelief. This is natural. Your old patterns of thought and feeling will try to reassert themselves. When this happens, do not fight against these doubts. Simply observe them, acknowledge them, and then gently return to your assumed feeling state. Persistence is key. The more you practice, the more natural it will become. In your daily life, look for opportunities to reinforce your new feeling state. Find evidence, no matter how small, that supports your assumption. Celebrate these signs, for they are proof that your inner world is indeed shaping your outer reality. But do not become attached to these signs or anxiously seek them out. Simply acknowledge them with gratitude and continue to live from your assumed feeling state. As you continue on this journey, remember that you are not alone. The entire universe is conspiring to bring your desires into manifestation. Trust in this process. Have faith in the creative power of your own consciousness. For when you align your feelings with your desires, when you live from the state of your wish fulfilled, you set in motion forces beyond your comprehension. Go forth now, my dear friends, and apply this principle in your lives. Feel the reality of your desires now before any external evidence appears. Live from that feeling state. Persist in that assumption and watch as the world rearranges itself to match your inner vision. For this is the true secret to feeling it before you have it. And it is the key to creating the life of your dreams.
I invite you to consider a profound truth, one that may revolutionize the way you approach life. For too long, many of us have been caught in the ceaseless effort to manifest our desires, believing that we must strive, struggle, and work tirelessly to bring our dreams into reality. But what if I told you that this very effort, this trying so hard, is the very thing standing in the way of your desires? What if I told you that what you seek is already yours, waiting for you to claim it not through toil, but through the quiet assurance of its existence? There is a power within you, an infinite and boundless force that shapes your reality. This power does not respond to frantic effort or desperate striving. Instead, it aligns with the quiet, unwavering belief that what you desire is already a part of your life. Your dreams, your aspirations, your deepest longings, they are not distant, elusive things that you must chase down. They are as close to you as your own breath, waiting for you to acknowledge them as already yours. Consider this: when you plant a seed in the ground, you do not stand over it, willing it to grow with every ounce of your energy. You know without a shadow of a doubt that the seed will sprout and flourish in its own time. You trust the process, confident in the knowledge that the result is inevitable. So too should you trust in the fulfillment of your desires. The moment you conceive of a wish, it is as if you have planted a seed in the fertile soil of your imagination. Your only task is to nurture it with faith, knowing that it will grow and blossom into reality. Stop trying so hard to manifest. Stop wrestling with the universe, pleading and pushing for what you want. Instead, shift your focus. Begin to live in the end. See your desires as already accomplished. Feel the joy, the satisfaction, the peace that comes with the realization that what you want is already yours. When you embody this state of mind, when you truly live as though your dreams have already come true, you align yourself with the power that creates worlds. Imagine for a moment the person you would be if everything you desired were already a part of your life. How would you think? How would you feel? How would you act? Hold this image in your mind and let it guide your thoughts and actions. You do not need to strain or struggle. You only need to dwell in the consciousness of your fulfilled desires. This is the secret: the world without is a reflection of the world within. When you change the inner conversation, when you truly believe in the reality of your desires, the outer world must conform to that belief. In this state, there is no need for frantic effort or desperate trying. You become the calm, confident creator of your reality, knowing that all you desire is already yours. You walk through life with a quiet assurance, unbothered by circumstances, undisturbed by appearances. For you know that the invisible power within you is constantly at work, bringing into being the very things you have claimed in your imagination. There is a profound misconception that we must fight against the tides of life, exerting every ounce of energy to bring our dreams into existence. We have been taught to believe that only through relentless effort can we achieve what we desire. But I stand before you today to tell you that this is not the way. The more you struggle, the more you push, the further you drift from the realization of your desires. The truth is that your desires are not something you need to chase, they are something you need to claim. You see, the moment you conceive a desire in your mind, it is not merely a fleeting wish. It is a reality that has already begun to take shape in the unseen realm. Your desires are like seeds planted in the fertile ground of your imagination. They do not require force to grow, they require belief. They require the quiet, unwavering conviction that they are already fulfilled. This is the key to manifestation: not trying hard, but knowing that it is already done. Imagine for a moment that your life is a grand stage, and you are the actor, the director, and the playwright all in one. The script you follow is not one of struggle or striving, but of certainty and assurance. In this script, you do not beg or plead for what you want. You simply assume the role of the person who already possesses it. You move through life with the confidence that comes from knowing that your desires are not a distant dream, but a present reality. How would you act if you knew, beyond the shadow of a doubt, that everything you wanted was already yours? How would you feel? How would you think? This is the state of mind you must cultivate, the state of living in the end. When you live as though your desires are already fulfilled, you align yourself with the very power that brings them into being. This power does not respond to desperate attempts or frantic efforts. It responds to the calm, assured knowing that what you seek is already yours. There is no need to try so hard to manifest. The more you try, the more you affirm that you do not have what you desire. And in doing so, you create resistance that pushes your desires further away. Instead, let go of the struggle. Let go of the need to force things into being. Instead, embrace the state of having. Embrace the feeling that it is already done. This is the secret to effortless manifestation. When you truly believe that your desires are already fulfilled, you begin to see the world differently. You no longer react to circumstances with fear or doubt. You no longer question whether or not you will achieve your dreams. You simply live in the confidence that they are already yours, and the world around you must conform to this belief. This is the law of consciousness. The world reflects back to you what you believe to be true. So, my friends, I urge you to stop trying so hard. Stop the endless striving and struggling. Instead, rest in the quiet assurance that what you seek is already yours. Live in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Walk through life with the calm confidence that comes from knowing that you are the creator of your reality, and that reality has already taken shape in accordance with your deepest desires. In this state, you will find that life becomes easier, more joyful, and more abundant. You will no longer be at the mercy of circumstances, but will instead be the master of your own destiny. You will discover that manifestation is not about effort, but about alignment with the truth that what you desire is already yours. The understanding that your desires are already yours is a profound shift in consciousness that can fundamentally change the way you approach life. This concept invites you to see your desires not as distant goals to be achieved through hard work and effort, but as realities that already exist within the unseen realm, waiting to be recognized and claimed by you. When you have a desire, it is not a mere wish or a fleeting thought. It is an indication that what you seek is already a part of your reality. The moment you conceive a desire, the potential for its fulfillment is created simultaneously. This understanding requires a shift from the conventional mindset of I will have to the more powerful mindset of I already have it. Is about recognizing that the moment you desire something, the creation of that desire is set into motion. This is not about deluding yourself or engaging in wishful thinking. It is about aligning with the truth that your desires are expressions of possibilities that already exist. By embracing this mindset, you no longer see your desires as something to be achieved in the future, but as something that already belongs to you in the present. This shift from lack to fulfillment is crucial, because the way you perceive your desires determines how you interact with them. When you believe that your desires are already yours, you naturally begin to act, think, and feel as though they are part of your current reality. This state of mind is not about pretending or forcing yourself to feel something that isn't true. It's about genuinely embodying the state of having. This means living in a state of gratitude and contentment, as though your desires have already been fulfilled. This state of being creates a powerful resonance within you that aligns with the reality of your desires, drawing them into your experience with ease. The world around you begins to reflect this inner state, and what you once saw as a distant possibility becomes a tangible reality. Understanding that your desires are already yours also means releasing the need to control how and when they will manifest. When you truly believe that what you want is already yours, you no longer feel the need to micromanage every step of the process. Instead, you trust in the natural flow of life, knowing that your desires will unfold in perfect timing. This trust allows you to live with a sense of peace and certainty, free from the anxiety and fear that often accompany the pursuit of goals. You become less concerned with how things will happen and more focused on the knowing that they will happen. The power of belief over struggle is a key principle that challenges the common notion that hard work and effort are the only paths to success. We have been conditioned to think that if we want something, we must push ourselves to the limit, often exhausting our mental and physical resources in the process. However, this approach overlooks a fundamental truth. The power to create our reality lies not in how hard we try, but in how deeply we believe. Belief is the engine that drives manifestation. It is the quiet, unwavering conviction that what you desire is already a reality. When you truly believe in the fulfillment of your desires, you no longer feel the need to struggle or strive. Instead, you align yourself with the outcome you seek, allowing it to come into your life naturally and effortlessly. This doesn't mean that you do nothing, rather. It means that your actions are guided by a sense of certainty and purpose, rather than by fear or desperation. Belief is a powerful force because it shapes your perception of reality. What you believe to be true becomes true for you. If you believe that you must struggle to achieve your desires, then struggle will be a part of your experience. But if you believe that your desires are already yours, then your experience will reflect that belief. Your thoughts, feelings, and actions will naturally align with the reality you have chosen to believe in, and the outer world will conform to this inner state. The power of belief also lies in its ability to bypass the limitations of the rational mind. The mind often gets caught up in the how and when of manifestation, creating doubt and uncertainty. But belief transcends these limitations. It doesn't concern itself with the details of how something will happen, it simply knows that it will happen. This kind of belief creates a sense of ease and flow in your life, allowing you to move through the world with confidence and grace. In essence, the power of belief over struggle is about shifting from a mindset of scarcity and lack to one of abundance and fulfillment. It's about recognizing that the effort you put into trying to manifest your desires is often counterproductive, because it stems from a place of doubt. When you believe deeply and truly in the reality of your desires, you no longer need to struggle. You can relax into the knowing that what you seek is already yours, and that the universe is working in perfect harmony to bring it into your experience. Living in the end is a transformative approach to life that reshapes how we engage with our desires and aspirations. This concept encourages us to mentally and emotionally occupy the state of already having achieved what we desire, rather than focusing on the process of getting there. It is about embodying the feeling of the wish fulfilled, living from the perspective that what you desire is already a reality. This shift in perspective has profound implications, as it directly influences how we think, feel, and act. When you live in the end, you are not just imagining your desired outcome, you are fully immersing yourself in the experience of having it. This requires you to cultivate the emotions, thoughts, and behaviors that you would naturally have if your desire were already realized. For example, if your goal is to achieve financial abundance, living in the end would mean feeling the security, freedom, and peace of mind that comes with having financial stability, even if your current circumstances do not yet reflect that reality. You would begin to make decisions, take actions, and think in ways that are consistent with someone who is already financially abundant. This approach is rooted in the understanding that our external reality is a reflection of our internal state. By living in the end, you align your inner world with the reality you wish to experience. This alignment is powerful because it sends a clear message to your subconscious mind and to the universe you are ready to receive what you desire. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions are congruent with the end result, the universe responds by rearranging circumstances, events, and opportunities to match your inner state. One of the key aspects of living in the end is the emotional resonance it creates. Emotions are a powerful driving force in the manifestation process. When you consistently feel the emotions associated with your desired outcome, you create a vibrational match between your current state and the state of your fulfilled desire. This emotional alignment is what draws your desire into your experience. It's important to note that this is not about forcing yourself to feel something you don't genuinely feel, rather. It's about gradually shifting your emotional state by focusing on thoughts and images that evoke the feelings you would have if your desire were already fulfilled. Living in the end also involves letting go of the attachment to how and when your desire will manifest. When you are fully immersed in the state of already having your desire, you no longer worry about the details of how it will come to be. You trust that the universe will handle the specifics, and you remain focused on maintaining the inner state of fulfillment. This detachment from the outcome paradoxically accelerates the manifestation process because it removes the resistance that often comes with overthinking and overanalyzing. Another important aspect of living in the end is the impact it has on your self-concept. When you see yourself as the person who already has what you desire, your self-image begins to shift. You start to identify with the version of yourself who has already achieved your goals. And this new self-concept influences every aspect of your life. Your beliefs, habits, and behaviors naturally begin to align with your new self-image, making it easier to take the actions necessary to bring your desire into physical reality. Living in the end also changes how you respond to challenges and setbacks. When you are anchored in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, obstacles no longer have the same power to derail you. You see them as temporary and insignificant in the grand scheme of your overall vision. This resilience comes from the deep knowing that your desired outcome is inevitable. You no longer react to external circumstances with fear or doubt because your inner state of fulfillment is so strong that it overrides any temporary setbacks. It's also important to recognize that living in the end is not about ignoring your current reality or pretending that challenges don't exist. Instead, it's about holding a dual awareness, acknowledging your present circumstances while simultaneously maintaining the inner conviction that your desired outcome is already a reality. This dual awareness allows you to navigate the present moment with grace and confidence, knowing that your outer reality will eventually catch up with your inner state. Living in the end requires practice and consistency. It's not something that happens overnight, but with regular focus and intention, it becomes easier to maintain the state of the wish fulfilled. Visualization can be a powerful tool in this process. By regularly visualizing yourself in the scene of your fulfilled desire, you strengthen your ability to live in the end. Over time, this practice helps to reprogram your subconscious mind, making the state of fulfillment your default mode of being. In summary, living in the end is a profound approach to manifestation that involves fully embodying the state of having already achieved your desires. It requires you to align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the reality you wish to experience, creating a powerful resonance that draws your desires into your life. By maintaining the feeling of the wish fulfilled and letting go of attachment to the how and when, you accelerate the manifestation process and bring your desires into physical reality with greater ease and grace. Letting go of effort and resistance is a crucial step in the manifestation process that often goes against our conventional understanding of how to achieve our goals. We are typically taught that hard work, effort, and persistence are the keys to success. While these qualities can certainly play a role, there is a point at which effort can become counterproductive, creating resistance that actually blocks the manifestation of our desires. Effort, in the context of manifestation, often stems from a place of lack of fear. When we try too hard to make something happen, it's usually because we don't believe that it will happen on its own. But this lack of belief creates a sense of urgency and desperation, which manifests as excessive effort. However, this kind of effort is rooted in a belief that we do not already have what we desire, and as a result, it reinforces the very lack we are trying to overcome. Resistance is the mental and emotional tension that arises when we believe that we have to struggle or fight for what we want. This resistance can take many forms, such as doubt, fear, impatience, or frustration. When we encounter obstacles or challenges, resistance often intensifies, leading us to push even harder. However, this approach can create a cycle of resistance, where the more we try to force things to happen, the more they seem to resist our efforts. Letting go of effort and resistance involves shifting from a mindset of force to one of flow. Instead of trying to control every aspect of the manifestation process, we learn to trust in the natural unfolding of our desires. This doesn't mean that we stop taking action altogether, rather. It means that our actions are inspired and aligned with the state of having, rather than driven by fear or desperation. One of the first steps in letting go of effort and resistance is recognizing when we are in a state of struggle. This requires self-awareness and honesty. We need to be able to identify when our efforts are coming from a place of lack rather than abundance. When we notice that we are trying too hard, it's a signal that we need to step back, relax, and reconnect with the feeling of our wish fulfilled. Letting go also involves releasing the need to control the outcome. This can be one of the most challenging aspects of the process, especially if we are used to being in control. However, true manifestation requires us to trust that the universe knows the best way to bring our desires into reality. This trust allows us to let go of the how and when, focusing instead on maintaining the inner state of fulfillment. Another important aspect of letting go of effort and resistance is embracing a mindset of ease and grace. This means approaching the manifestation process with a sense of lightness and playfulness, rather than with seriousness and intensity. When we take things too seriously, we create unnecessary tension and stress, which can block the flow of manifestation. By adopting a more relaxed and joyful attitude, we open ourselves up to receive our desires with greater ease. It's also important to understand that letting go of effort and resistance does not mean giving up or becoming passive. On the contrary, it's about shifting from a mindset of force to one of alignment. When we are aligned with our desires, we naturally take inspired actions that feel effortless and joyful. These actions are not driven by a need to prove ourselves or to make something happen. They are guided by our inner knowing that our desires are already ours. Letting go of effort and resistance also involves cultivating patience and trust in the timing of the universe. Often when we try too hard to manifest something, it's because we are impatient and want immediate results. However, the manifestation process operates on its own timeline, and sometimes what we desire requires time to unfold. By trusting in divine timing, we can let go of the need to rush or force things, allowing our desires to come into our lives at the perfect moment. Letting go of effort and resistance requires a deep commitment to self-care and well-being. When we are overly focused on manifesting our desires, we can easily neglect our physical, emotional, and mental health. However, taking care of ourselves is essential to the manifestation process. When we are relaxed, balanced, and in a state of well-being, we are more open and receptive to the flow of manifestation. Self-care practices such as meditation, mindfulness, exercise, and spending time in nature can help us release resistance and return to a state of ease. Aligning with the feeling of fulfillment is a cornerstone of successful manifestation. It involves more than just thinking positively or visualizing your desires. It's about fully embodying the emotions, thoughts, and actions of someone who has already achieved what they want. This alignment creates a powerful resonance with the reality you seek to create, drawing it into your experience with greater ease and certainty. To align with the feeling of fulfillment, it's essential to understand that emotions are not just fleeting reactions, but are integral to shaping your reality. Emotions are the energy in motion that signal to the universe what you are experiencing internally. When you feel joy, gratitude, and satisfaction, you are broadcasting a frequency that attracts experiences and circumstances that match those feelings. Conversely, when you feel lack, frustration, or doubt, you are inadvertently attracting more of those experiences into your life. The first step in aligning with the feeling of fulfillment is to cultivate a deep sense of gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful emotion that can instantly shift your focus from what you lack to what you already have. When you focus on what you are grateful for, you acknowledge the abundance in your life, no matter how small it may seem. This acknowledgement sends a signal to the universe that you are open to receiving more of what you desire. It's important to practice gratitude not just for the things you already have, but also for the things you want, as if they have already manifested. This practice aligns your energy with the state of having rather than wanting, which is crucial for manifestation. Another key aspect of aligning with the feeling of fulfillment is to engage in visualization. Visualization is not just about imagining a picture of your desired outcome, it's about immersing yourself in the sensory experience of having it. When you visualize, see, hear, and feel what it would be like to live in your desired reality. Engage all your senses in the process. For example, if you are visualizing a new home, imagine walking through each room, feeling the textures of the furniture, smelling the fresh paint, and hearing the sounds that would be present in that environment. The more vivid and detailed your visualization, the more real it will feel to your subconscious mind, which cannot distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined. It's also important to act as if your desire is already manifested. This doesn't mean pretending or living beyond your means, but rather adopting the mindset, habits, and behaviors of someone who has already achieved what you want. For instance, if you are seeking financial abundance, start managing your current finances with the care and attention of someone who is already wealthy. Make decisions from a place of abundance rather than lack. This alignment in actions reinforces the feeling of fulfillment and helps bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be. One of the challenges in aligning with the feeling of fulfillment is dealing with the gap between your current reality and your desired outcome. It's natural to notice the difference, but it's important not to dwell on it. When you focus too much on the absence of what you want, you reinforce the feeling of lack, which can delay the manifestation process. Instead, whenever you notice the gap, use it as an opportunity to reaffirm your commitment to the feeling of fulfillment. Remind yourself that the gap is only temporary and that your desired outcome is already on its way to you. Aligning with the feeling of fulfillment also requires consistency. It's not enough to feel fulfilled sporadically or only when things are going well. You must cultivate this feeling consistently, even in the face of challenges or delays. This doesn't mean denying your emotions or pretending to be happy when you're not, but it does mean making a conscious effort to return to the feeling of fulfillment as often as possible. Practices such as meditation, affirmations, and journaling can help you maintain this alignment over time. In essence, aligning with the feeling of fulfillment is about living from the inside out. It's about making your internal state the primary reality and trusting that the external world will eventually catch up. When you consistently align with the feeling of having what you desire, you create a magnetic force that draws that reality into your life. This alignment not only accelerates the manifestation process, but also brings you a deep sense of peace and contentment, knowing that what you seek is already yours. Manifestation through calm assurance is a powerful approach that emphasizes the importance of a relaxed, confident mindset in the process of creating your desired reality. Unlike traditional methods that may focus on intense effort, willpower, or constant striving, calm assurance relies on a deep, unshakable belief that what you desire is already on its way to you. This mindset allows you to navigate the manifestation process with grace, patience, and certainty, free from the anxiety and stress that often accompany the pursuit of goals. At the heart of calm assurance is the understanding that the universe is always responding to your state of being. When you are calm and assured, you are signaling to the universe that you trust in the unfolding of your desires. This trust is crucial because it eliminates resistance and opens the channels through which your desires can flow into your life. Resistance often arises from doubt, fear, or impatience emotions that signal to the universe that you are not fully aligned with the reality you seek to create. By cultivating calm assurance, you replace these lower vibrations with a sense of ease and certainty, allowing the manifestation process to proceed smoothly. One of the key components of calm assurance is the ability to detach from the outcome. Detachment doesn't mean that you don't care about your desires or that you're indifferent to whether they manifest. Rather, it means that you are not obsessively attached to how and when they will manifest. You trust that the universe has its own timing and that everything will unfold perfectly. This detachment frees you from the need to control every aspect of the process, allowing you to relax and enjoy the journey. When you are detached from the outcome, you can focus on maintaining a positive, expectant state of being, knowing that what you desire is inevitable. Calm assurance also involves a deep sense of self-confidence and self-worth. When you believe in your own value and your ability to create your desired reality, you naturally radiate an energy of calm confidence. This energy is magnetic and attracts opportunities, resources, and people that support the manifestation of your desires. Confidence in your ability to manifest comes from understanding that you are a co-creator with the universe, that you have the power to shape your reality through your thoughts, feelings, and actions. When you fully embrace this power, you no longer feel the need to force things to happen instead. You trust that your desires are being brought to you in the perfect way. Another important aspect of calm assurance is patience. Patience is not just about waiting, it's about maintaining your calm and positive state of being while you wait. It's about trusting that the universe is working behind the scenes, even when you don't see immediate results. Patience allows you to remain centered and focused on your desired outcome, without becoming discouraged or anxious. It's important to remember that the manifestation process often involves a gestation period, where your desires are being prepared to come into physical form. During this time, your job is to stay calm, assured, and aligned with the feeling of fulfillment. Calm assurance also requires a shift in focus from the external world to your inner state. In the process of manifestation, it's easy to get caught up in external circumstances, especially when things don't seem to be going your way. However, the key to calm assurance is to focus more on your internal state than on external conditions. This means prioritizing how you feel and think over what you see in your external reality. By maintaining a calm and assured inner state, you create a stable foundation that is not easily shaken by external events. This inner stability is what allows you to continue moving forward with confidence, even in the face of challenges. One of the practical ways to cultivate calm assurance is through mindfulness and meditation. These practices help you stay grounded in the present moment, reduce stress, and connect with your inner sense of peace. When you meditate, you create a space where you can detach from the busyness of the mind and reconnect with the deep, calm center within you. This practice reinforces the feeling of calm assurance and helps you maintain it throughout your day. Another way to cultivate calm assurance is to engage in positive self-talk and affirmations. Affirmations such as "I trust in the perfect unfolding of my desires" or "everything is working out for my highest good" can reinforce your sense of calm and confidence. By regularly affirming your belief in the manifestation process, you strengthen your ability to remain calm and assured, even when external circumstances seem uncertain. Calm assurance is also closely linked to the practice of surrender. Surrendering to the flow of life means letting go of the need to control and trusting that everything is happening for your highest good. It means allowing the universe to guide you, knowing that it has a broader perspective and that it knows the best way to bring your desires into your life. Surrender is not about giving up. It's about letting go of resistance and allowing the natural flow of life to carry you toward your goals. Manifestation through calm assurance is about cultivating a relaxed, confident mindset that trusts in the natural unfolding of your desires. It involves detachment from the outcome, a deep sense of self-confidence, patience, and a focus on maintaining a positive inner state. By aligning with the energy of calm assurance, you eliminate resistance and create a powerful magnetic force that draws your desires into your life. This approach not only accelerates the manifestation process, but also brings a sense of peace, joy, and fulfillment, knowing that what you desire is already on its way to you. In conclusion, the journey of manifestation is not one of relentless struggle or desperate striving, but one of deep inner alignment, calm assurance, and unwavering trust. When you shift your focus from trying hard to manifest your desires to embodying the state of already having them, you unlock the true power within you to create your reality. By living in the end, you align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the fulfillment you seek, allowing the universe to respond in kind, letting go of effort and resistance, and instead embracing a mindset of ease and flow, opens the door to effortless manifestation. As you cultivate the feeling of fulfillment and maintain a calm, assured mindset, you create a magnetic force that draws your desires into your life with grace and certainty. Remember, manifestation is not about forcing outcomes or controlling every detail. It's about trusting the process, believing in your own power, and allowing the universe to work in perfect harmony with your intentions. As you move forward, carry with you the knowledge that what you seek is already yours. Live from that place of fulfillment and watch as your world transforms to reflect the reality you have claimed within. When we chase after things with desperation, we create a gap between ourselves and the very things we desire. This gap exists not because what we seek is far away, but because we believe it is. Our relentless pursuit declares to the universe that we do not possess it. And as long as we feel the lack remains. The secret lies in the stillness of knowing. When you stop trying to get it, you align yourself with the reality in which it is already yours. Imagine the feeling of having it now, not tomorrow, not someday, but in this very moment. Feel the joy, the peace, and the fulfillment as if the dream has already materialized. That state of being is the key to unlocking the floodgates of abundance. Life does not respond to need or effort, it responds to being. When you try, you affirm that you are not yet what you wish to be. But when you embody the state of having, without strain, the world shifts to reflect your inner conviction. Stop searching outwardly and start dwelling inwardly. Rest in the assurance that all you desire is already within you, waiting to be expressed in the perfect way. There is no need to manipulate the outer world. The outer world is merely a mirror, reflecting the state of your inner world. If you are restless, the world will echo your restlessness. But if you are at peace, fully immersed in the feeling of fulfillment, the world will bend to your peace, bringing to you all that matches your state of being. Release the struggle, for struggle only keeps you entangled. Let go of the effort to make it happen. Instead, rest in the vision of it already done. The power that created the stars and moves the oceans resides in you, and it knows no effort. Trust in that power, align with it, and watch as your desires flow to you naturally, as easily as the sun rises and sets. What you seek is not separate from you. It is not out there waiting for you to find it. It is within, waiting for you to claim it. Stop trying to grasp what is already yours. Let go, and you will find that in the stillness of your being, you already have it all. When you let go of trying, when you stop the ceaseless effort to control, you begin to tap into a profound truth. All that you seek is already present within you. It is not about becoming worthy or proving yourself to a distant force. It is about recognizing the reality of your oneness with what you desire. To try is to push, and to push is to admit that there is distance. But in the quiet acceptance of what is already yours, there is no distance, no gap to bridge, and no struggle to endure. The moment you stop striving is the moment you allow the natural order of things to flow. Like a river that effortlessly follows its course, your life unfolds perfectly when you cease the need to dam it with effort. The flow of life is not something you need to create or control, it is something you align with. Effort interrupts that flow. Effort says, I must make this happen, while faith says, it is already done. Faith is not blind hope, it is the deep knowing that all is already in place, that the seed you planted within yourself is growing, even if you cannot yet see its bloom. Everything in this world begins with a thought, a feeling, an imagination. What you focus on within is what takes shape without. This is not a matter of wishing or longing, for longing suggests separation. It is a matter of feeling, of truly living in the state of fulfillment within your imagination. When you feel the joy, the satisfaction, and the gratitude of already having what you desire, the world cannot help but reflect it back to you. It must, for it is the law of life. Do not confuse letting go with giving up. To give up is to surrender to doubt, but to let go is to surrender to trust. Trust that the unseen forces of creation are working for you. Trust that the life you desire is unfolding, even if you cannot yet see the evidence. The farmer does not dig up his seeds each day to check if they are growing. He trusts the process, knowing that the unseen work beneath the soil is just as real as the harvest he will one day gather. When you let go of trying, you open yourself to receive. You cannot receive with clenched fists or a heart heavy with frustration. Relax. Rest in the knowing. Feel the ease of already having it, and let that feeling become your dwelling place. Your state of being is the magnet that draws your desires to you. It is not through force, but through alignment that the unseen becomes seen. The external world will always respond to your internal state. If you are anxious and desperate, the world will mirror that energy back to you. But if you are calm, assured, and filled with the feeling of already being whole, the world will shift to meet you there. You do not need to chase anything, for nothing is truly outside of you. Everything you could ever want is an extension of what you already are. The joy, the abundance, the love, they are not external prizes to be won, but reflections of your inner state. To stop trying does not mean to stop dreaming. Dream boldly, imagine vividly, and feel deeply. But let your dreams arise from a place of certainty, not lack. You do not dream to escape reality, you dream to create it. Your imagination is the workshop of your destiny, and what you hold there with faith and feeling must come to pass. When you stop trying, you stop scattering your energy and start directing it with purpose. Think of the moments in your life when something wonderful came to you unexpectedly, effortlessly. Perhaps it was a chance meeting, an opportunity, or a stroke of inspiration. These moments were not the result of strain or struggle, they were the result of alignment. You were in the right state of being, and the universe responded accordingly. This is not luck or coincidence, it is the natural order of creation. You cannot outrun the truth of who you are. If you believe you are lacking, no amount of effort will fill that void. But when you believe, truly believe, that you are already whole, the world will confirm that truth. It is not about pretending or forcing yourself to feel something you do not. It is about gently shifting your focus from what you lack to what you already possess within you. It is about remembering that you are not separate from your desires, you are their source. Stop trying to manipulate the details of how and when. The how is not your concern, and the when is already perfect. Your task is simply to remain in the state of being that aligns with what you desire. Live as though it is already yours. Feel the gratitude of having received it. Speak and act from a place of fulfillment, not fear. When you do this, you are no longer trying to get it, you are allowing it to unfold naturally, in ways more beautiful and unexpected than you could have planned. The greatest paradox of life is that when you let go of trying to possess something, you possess it fully. When you release the need to control, you step into the flow of divine timing and infinite possibilities. This is not passivity, it is the ultimate act of faith. It is the understanding that your role is not to force but to allow, not to chase but to align. The universe moves mountains for those who trust its power and wisdom. Even now, as you listen, the reality you desire is forming around you. Each thought, each feeling, each moment of stillness brings it closer. You do not need to strive to make it happen, you only need to be. Rest in the assurance that all is well, and let that assurance guide your every step. In the stillness of knowing, you will find that you have already arrived. The act of creation is effortless when it arises from the depth of knowing. When you allow yourself to be still and truly feel, you connect with the infinite. The infinite does not operate through force, it operates through resonance. What you embody within yourself, you call forth from the world. This is why trying, striving, and pushing are counterproductive. They create resistance. Resistance is born from the belief that what you desire is separate from you. But in truth, it is not. I think for a moment about the ocean. The waves rise and fall, not because they are fighting to reach the shore, but because it is their nature to move. Creation follows the same rhythm. It is not something to be forced or demanded, it is something to be allowed. When you rest in the awareness that you are already one with your desires, the current of life carries you effortlessly to their manifestation. The struggle dissolves, and in its place is a calm, steady assurance that all is unfolding perfectly. The reason so many feel stuck is that they attach themselves to the doing rather than the being. They believe that through sheer effort they can mold reality to their will. But the truth is, reality is a reflection of your inner state. What you are within, you will see without. If you feel lack, the world will confirm your lack. If you feel abundance, the world will mirror abundance back to you. This is not wishful thinking, it is the law of creation. Consider the way a seed grows into a tree. The seed does not strain or struggle to become what it already is in potential. It simply follows the natural flow of life. It does not ask, when will I grow? Or how will I become a tree? It trusts the process. It rests in the soil, nourished by what is already provided, and unfolds in its own time. In the same way, you must trust the process of your own becoming. Your desires are like seeds planted within you. They do not need force, they need faith. Faith is not about hoping that something might happen. Faith is about knowing that it already is. When you embody faith, you stop questioning whether your desires will manifest. You stop doubting your worthiness to receive them. Instead, you live from a place of quiet confidence, knowing that everything you need is already yours. This confidence is not arrogance, it is the natural state of one who understands the laws of life. Letting go of trying does not mean letting go of action. Action is a natural expression of being, but it must arise from alignment rather than effort. When you act from a place of alignment, your actions are inspired, effortless, and effective. They carry the energy of fulfillment rather than lack. You are not chasing something outside of yourself, you are simply expressing what already exists within you. Notice the difference between the one who acts out of desperation and the one who acts out of faith. Desperation says, I must do this to get what I want. Faith says, I will do this because it feels right, and I trust that all is unfolding as it should. The energy behind your actions matters more than the actions themselves. The world responds not to what you do, but to the state of being from which you do it. Every moment is an opportunity to realign with the truth of your being. When you find yourself striving, stop and take a breath. Return to the feeling of already having it. Close your eyes and imagine the reality you desire. Feel it as though it is happening now. Let the joy, the peace, and the gratitude fill your heart. This is not pretending, this is aligning. The more you practice this, the more natural it becomes. Until one day you realize you no longer need to try, you are simply living in the state of having. Patience is a natural byproduct of trust. When you trust that your desires are already yours, you no longer feel the need to rush or force the process. You understand that everything has its time and place. Just as the sun rises and sets without your interference, your desires will manifest in their own perfect timing. Impatience arises from fear that it will not happen or that you are not worthy. But when you let go of fear and rest in trust, impatience dissolves. The outer world is but a shadow of the inner. You cannot change the shadow by reaching for it, you must change the object casting it. If you wish to see love, abundance, or peace in your life, you must first cultivate these states within yourself. The world cannot give you what you are not willing to embody. This is the ultimate truth. You do not attract what you want, you attract what you are. Even as you listen, the words are not creating something new within you, they are simply awakening what has always been there. You have always been whole, complete, and connected to the infinite. Your desires are not foreign to you, they are expressions of who you are. When you understand this, the need to try disappears. You realize that there is nothing to get, for you already have it all. Trust the stillness. Trust the knowing. Trust that the universe is conspiring in your favor. Release the need to make it happen, and instead allow it to happen. You are not separate from the power that creates worlds, you are one with it. Rest in that truth, and let the unfolding of your desires be as natural as the blooming of a flower. You will find, as you let go, that you already are, and have always been, everything you could ever need. The journey of creation is not about moving from a place of lack to a place of abundance. It is about awakening to the abundance that has always been present. To seek is to imply that something is missing, but to realize is to know that nothing is ever absent. The very act of trying creates a distance between you and what you desire, a distance that only exists in the mind. When you stop trying, you dissolve that illusion of separation and step into the fullness of being. Feel the power of the present moment. It is in this moment, not in some distant future, that all things are created. The eternal now is where your desires take root and where they bloom. The mind often rushes ahead, searching for evidence, craving signs, but the heart knows better. The heart understands that all creation is birthed in stillness, in the quiet conviction that what you seek is already yours. Let your heart guide you back to this truth, again and again, until it becomes your dwelling place. To live in this awareness is to live in harmony with the divine order. The universe does not respond to struggle or desperation, it responds to faith and alignment. Think of a magnet, it does not strain to attract, it simply is. Its very nature draws to it what aligns with its field. In the same way, your state of being naturally attracts experiences that match its vibration. There is no effort in this process, only a quiet certainty that what is meant for you cannot be lost. The mind, conditioned by the world, often believes in the necessity of hard work, sacrifice, and striving. It whispers that nothing worthwhile comes easily, that you must prove yourself worthy through effort. But the soul knows a different truth. The soul knows that your worth is not something to be earned, it is inherent. You are already enough, already complete, already worthy of all the good that life has to offer. When you release the need to try, you honor this truth. You step into the flow of grace, where all things come to you effortlessly. This does not mean you will not act, but your actions will be inspired rather than forced. They will arise from a place of joy and alignment, not from fear or obligation. When you act from this state, even the smallest steps carry immense power. The energy of alignment amplifies your efforts, allowing them to ripple outward in ways you cannot predict or control. Trust in this process. Trust that your inspired actions, no matter how simple, are enough. The key is to remain steadfast in your inner state, even when the outer world has yet to catch up. The delay is not a sign of failure, but a natural part of the unfolding. Just as seasons change in their own time, so too do your desires manifest when the conditions are right. Impatience only disrupts the process, creating resistance where there should be ease. Instead, cultivate patience as an act of faith. Know that the unseen work is already underway, even if you cannot yet perceive it. Doubt may arise, as it often does, but doubt is not your enemy. It is simply a signal that your focus has shifted from faith to fear. When doubt appears, do not fight it. Acknowledge it, then gently guide your attention back to the truth. Remind yourself that what you desire is already a reality within you, waiting to be expressed. Feel the joy of having it, the gratitude of its presence, and let these feelings anchor you in the state of fulfillment. Gratitude is a powerful force in this process. It shifts your focus from what you lack to what you already have, aligning you with the energy of abundance. When you live in gratitude, you create a fertile ground for your desires to take root. You no longer seek validation or reassurance from the outside world, for you carry the certainty of your wholeness within. This inner state of gratitude is a magnet for blessings, drawing to you experiences that reflect its vibration. It is not your role to question the means by which your desires will manifest. The how is the domain of the infinite, far beyond the limited scope of the human mind. Your role is simply to remain in the state of being that aligns with your desires. When you do this, the universe orchestrates events in ways that defy logic and expectation. Doors open, opportunities arise, and pathways appear where there were none. This is the miracle of creation, and it is available to you at every moment. The greatest gift you can give yourself is the freedom to let go. Let go of the need to control, to force, to make things happen. In letting go, you create space for the divine to work through you. You become a vessel for infinite possibilities, no longer bound by the limitations of the mind. This is not surrender in the sense of giving up. It is surrender in the sense of trusting the greater wisdom that guides all things. Even as you hear these words, the truth of them resonates within you. There is a part of you that already knows, that has always known, that you are one with the source of all creation. This part of you does not need convincing or proof, it simply is. When you connect with this knowing, you access a power that transcends effort, struggle, and limitation. You step into the realm of infinite potential, where all things are possible. This is the essence of creation: to be still, to feel, to know. When you stop trying to get it, you realize that you have always had it. The seeking ends, and in its place is the profound realization that you are, and have always been, complete. Rest in this truth, and let it guide you in all things. In doing so, you will find that life itself becomes an effortless unfolding, a dance of joy and abundance that reflects the fullness of who you are. Every breath you take in this moment is infused with the infinite creative power of the universe. You are not apart from it, you are it. There is no separation between the Creator and the creation, just as there is no separation between the ocean and its waves. The wave may appear distinct, yet it is nothing without the ocean that gives it life. So too is your every desire an extension of the divine expressing itself through you. To resist this truth is to resist your own nature. To embrace it is to step into the fullness of who you are. Your desires are not random. They are divine impulses, whispers from the infinite urging you toward greater self-expression and expansion. Yet these whispers are gentle, they do not shout, nor do they demand. They invite. They invite you to align, to become, to realize. When you try to force the manifestation of these desires, you drown out their subtle voice. But when you relax, when you release, you allow these divine impulses to unfold in their perfect time and way. Imagine holding a bird in your hands. If you clutch it too tightly, you may harm it, or it may struggle to escape. But if you hold it lightly, it remains with you, free and unburdened. So it is with your desires. They are meant to be held lightly, with trust and reverence, not with desperation or fear. This lightness of being is not a sign of indifference, but of profound faith. It says, I trust that what is mine will come to me, and I release the need to control its arrival. Control is the illusion that keeps so many trapped in cycles of frustration and longing. The more you try to control the outcome, the more elusive it becomes. This is because control stems from fear, and fear is a state of resistance. But the energy of creation flows only in openness, in surrender. To let go of control is not to abandon your desires, but to release the resistance that blocks their manifestation. It is to say, I trust the wisdom of the universe more than the fears of my mind. Think of a seed planted in the earth. You do not need to dig it up each day to check its progress, nor do you need to force it to grow. You trust the process. You water it, give it sunlight, and let it be. In time it sprouts, grows, and bears fruit. Your desires are much the same. They are seeds planted in the fertile soil of your consciousness. Your job is to nurture them with faith, love, and gratitude, and then to let them grow in their own time. The act of trying often comes from a place of unworthiness, a belief that you must do more or be more to deserve what you seek. But you are already worthy. Your worthiness is not conditional. It is not something to be earned or proven. It is your birthright, inherent and unchanging. When you stop trying to earn what is already yours, you free yourself from the chains of unworthiness. You step into a state of grace, where all things flow to you effortlessly because you have aligned with the truth of who you are. Effortlessness does not mean passivity. It means inspired action, action that flows naturally from a place of alignment. When you are aligned, your actions carry the energy of certainty and joy, not of struggle or desperation. This is the difference between working hard and working with ease. The former depletes you, the latter empowers you. When you act from alignment, even the smallest gesture carries the weight of the infinite. It is not the quantity of your actions, but the quality of your energy that shapes your reality. The outer world is a mirror, reflecting back to you the state of your inner world. If you see lack and struggle in your life, it is because those states are present within you. But the mirror is not fixed, it changes as you change. When you shift your inner state to one of peace, abundance, and gratitude, the outer world has no choice but to reflect this shift. This is not magic, it is the law. The world must mirror back to you the vibration you hold within. To stop trying is to live as though your desires are already fulfilled. It is to feel the joy, the gratitude, the peace of having what you want, even before it appears in form. This is not a trick or a game, it is the essence of creation. The outer world cannot give you what you are unwilling to feel within. But when you embody the feeling of your desire fulfilled, the outer world must conform to this inner reality. It cannot do otherwise. The mind may rebel against this truth. It may tell you that you must see evidence before you can believe, that you must achieve before you can feel. But this is the great reversal. Believing comes first, seeing follows. Feeling comes first, achieving follows. The outer world is but a shadow of the inner, and to chase the shadow is to lose sight of the light that creates it. Turn inward to the source of all light, and you will find that the shadow naturally falls into place. There is a simplicity in this process that the mind often resists. It wants complexity, strategies, and steps. It wants to analyze, calculate, and predict. But the heart knows that creation is simple. It is as simple as breathing, as natural as the rising and setting of the sun. The more you trust this simplicity, the more you allow life to unfold in its perfect rhythm. Complexity is a product of fear. Simplicity is the language of love. You do not need to know the how of your desires. The infinite intelligence of the universe has already taken care of that. Your role is not to micromanage the process, but to align with the end result. Feel it, believe it, live as though it is already yours. This is your power, your divine gift. To misuse it by dwelling in doubt or fear is to deny yourself the joy and abundance that are your birthright. Even as you let go of the need to try, you will find that the things you once chased begin to chase you. Opportunities, relationships, and experiences will flow into your life with a grace that defies explanation. This is not because you have stopped desiring, but because you have stopped resisting. You have stepped into the flow of life, where all things are possible and all things are given in their perfect time. Feel the truth of these words. They are not new, they are ancient and eternal, echoing through the depths of your being. You already know them, for they are written in the fabric of your soul. They are not something to be learned, but something to be remembered. As you remember, you awaken. And as you awaken, you create not through effort, but through the effortless knowing that you already are all that you seek. In conclusion, the journey of manifesting your desires and achieving the life you've dreamed of often requires a deep understanding of trust and surrender. It's easy to fall into the trap of constant striving, constantly chasing after what you think you want. However, true success and fulfillment come when you stop trying to force things into existence and instead trust that the universe has a plan for you. By relinquishing the need to control every outcome, you create space for your desires to naturally unfold in their perfect timing. Too often we find ourselves trapped in a cycle of anxiety, fear, and impatience. We think that if we work harder, push further, or try to control the situation more, the thing we want will finally come to us. But this mindset only creates resistance. When we stop trying, stop forcing, and trust the process, we allow the energy of the universe to flow freely through us. We align ourselves with the natural rhythm of life, and in that alignment, we become magnets for the very things we desire. When you let go of the need to force, you free yourself from the weight of stress and struggle. You start to notice that everything falls into place with ease. Your relationships, your career, and your personal growth all flourish when you allow them to. It is when you surrender to the natural flow that you begin to see that the universe is always conspiring in your favor. It's not about doing more, it's about being more at peace, more in trust, more aligned with your true self. This doesn't mean sitting back and doing nothing. It means letting go of the fear that keeps you trapped in effortful striving. It means taking inspired action when it feels right, but never out of desperation. You must trust that the universe will bring you what you need at the right moment in the right way. The more you let go, the more you allow your desires to come to you effortlessly. Furthermore, when you stop trying to control every aspect of your life, you start to see things from a higher perspective. You stop worrying about the small details and start focusing on the bigger picture. Life begins to feel less like a struggle and more like a divine journey, one that's unfolding in perfect timing. Your only job is to remain open, stay grounded in trust, and believe that everything is working out exactly as it should. Remember, the universe has a way of orchestrating your desires in a manner far more beautiful and profound than you could ever imagine. The truth is that you can never force anything into existence. But when you align with the flow of life, when you let go of the resistance, and when you trust the timing of the universe, everything you want will come to you, often in ways you least expect, but always in the most miraculous way. So stop trying to get it. Let go of the need to force it into your life. Know that what's meant for you is already on its way. Trust the process, surrender to the flow, and watch as the universe delivers the life you've always dreamed of effortlessly, abundantly, and in divine timing.